I've just been a fighter all my life, ever since kindergarten, you know, fighting around in the schoolyards and stuff, putting kids in schoolyard chokes, and I've always been a thrill seeker. I've done, you know, I've surfed, I've skated, I've snowboarded, I've bungee jumped, I've never yet skydived, but out of everything I've done, there's no rush like I've gotten out of MMA. I can maneuver myself into areas and have the strength to manipulate people where I want, which most people can't, you know. I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna kick you, I'm gonna throw you around, and I think my fight will explain it.
Here once again is Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Well, fans, this is Strikeforce action in the middleweight division. 3 5-minute rounds scheduled. Our referee in charge is Joe DeRobio.
Red corner, are you ready? Blue corner, are you ready? Fighters, let's fight!
Pat, what should we look for in this fight?
I think if Devela is going to win this fight, he needs to turn this into a brawl.
And
just got caught with a right hand.
He got caught by a right hand from Rockhold, and he goes to town on the side of Devela's hand, raining in those lefts and rights.
Fight needs to be stopped. He's out. He's really.
And Rockhold cinches in the rear naked choke. We have yet to see 30 seconds of action. Luke Rockhold with the Mata Leon, and this one is over. Take us through this.
Well, obviously, when you turn it into a brawl, you got to keep your hands up, which didn't happen for Devela, unfortunately. From there, he took a lot of shots from Rockhold off when he was on his back, and he locked up the choke and finished. Could have been stopped earlier, I think. No need in letting it continue and taking the abuse after that.
I think Luke Rockhold was as surprised as the rest of us.
Well, obviously he's surprised in his striking ability now after being so good at grappling. Bob Cook and the guys up there have done a great job with him. That was a very crisp right hand, and he had no intention of putting in a submission for a while.
And you think it should have been stopped right here?
I think it could have been. I mean, there's not a lot happening underneath. There it is. He basically steps out a little bit. You can see him step with the left foot, lean his head, and throw the right hand, get his head off center, and let it go. It's a nice right hand. You can see age is very close. 2-inch height advantage for Rockhold, and a huge reach advantage for Rockhold. And if both of these guys are going to do what they say they're going to do, stand up and bang, that should help Rockhold.
So those are the numbers. Let's see how they impact this fight. Let's go up to ring announcer Mike Vale.
This bout is in the middleweight division and is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. The referee in charge of the action is Dan Stell.
You ready? You ready? Let's fight.
Heading to round one, 26-year-old Jesse Taylor, 13-4 record. Luke Rockhold, 5-1. They said they were going to stand up, and already they're headed to the mat.
Nice takedown defense by Rockhold. He looked like he was starting to work for a choke, arm in guillotine there.
Taylor with the wrestling background, trying to get him down.
Taylor going for a high crotch and into a double.
You know, Taylor almost got his hands locked on the double, and when they lock the double, the legs around both, or arms around both legs, you're usually going up in the air. Rockhold did a good job of busting his grip loose. That's something you don't see very often. Here he is locking the hands again. Let's see if he can get him up. There it is.
Rockhold getting back up, scoring a little bit of a personal victory there against Jesse Taylor.
Taylor, of course, with that strong wrestling background, wants to get things on the mat, and he does.
Something that Rockhold also told us was he trains with guys like Cain Velasquez, who's a two-time All-American for Arizona State, and trains with him in his gym. And Velasquez and guys like that don't have the easiest time holding him down. Velasquez is a heavyweight and one of the best in the world. So Rockhold's tough to keep down there.
And that knee is sneaking up there for that triangle choke for Rockhold, who is on the bottom.
All 5 of his wins have come by submission. The last 3 by the rear naked choke. Speaking of which, here comes Taylor looking for it.
Nice escape by Taylor. Now he's got his back.
But Rockhold standing back up. Taylor trying to trip him over. A really high pace so far in this fight.
Taylor looking for another throw.
Taylor said he's going to try to go for a rear naked choke. He said that's his favorite submission in training, but he's getting shucked off.
Getting too high.
If Rockhold gets his back, it's going to be a problem.
See how he's blocking the leg with his foot, stepping on it, so that the guy, Jesse Taylor didn't have leverage on the armbar. Real good use of his body parts.
And looking for that back position is Rockhold.
Both hooks in.
Could happen.
Rockhold got back control. Jesse Taylor fighting off a rear naked choke.
And not only does he have back, but he's got the figure 4 on the body, which is very tough to get out of, and now he's setting up an arm triangle right here.
Couple of minutes left here in round number 1, so a long time for Jesse Taylor to try and fend off this rear naked choke.
Jesse Taylor got his wish. This fight did go to the ground, but Rockhold soon got his back, and now he's in a bit of a problem.
Here's where the length and leverage serves Rockhold, very well. He can control him with his leg. See how he's scooping the leg, lifting it with the figure 4. I mean, that's tough to get out of right there. Plus, it's illegal in wrestling for one reason. It sucks the air out of you. Every time you exhale, they squeeze it tighter, and you can't inhale. You'll literally go to sleep from that.
And one getting closer. And one problematic statistic for Jesse Taylor, 3 of his 4 losses have been by submission. It looks like he's about ready to go by a 4th one here.
And this would be the 4th rear naked choke submission in a row for Rockhold, but Jesse Taylor blasting away to try to prevent it. The clock is ticking, but there's a minute. It's a tap out, and for the 4th time in a row, Luke Rockhold has won by rear naked choke.
And Pat, he didn't even have the bicep.
You can see here Rockhold, look not so much at the choke, but at the leg control. He's got the triangle on the body, which suffocates you to begin with, scooping the leg and then hitting the choke. I mean, you're basically getting suffocated and choked at the same time. To stay out of that, it's a tough one. Even so, Jesse Taylor did a good job of controlling the hand, but then Rockhold switched the choke up, went palm to palm, and was able to finish Jesse Taylor.
So Dave Camarillo from American Kickboxing Academy, who works on the jiu-jitsu and all these moves with Luke Rockhold, got to be proud of him, that's for sure.
Dave Camarillo is an exceptional jiu-jitsu coach.
All right, Pat, let's take a look at the numbers for this very compelling middleweight matchup.
1 year age difference, Rockhold a year younger. The height is definitely going to play a role in this. Weight's very close, and the reach 5 inches for Rockhold is going to be even more so due to the height. Rockhold's going to want to use that reach, stay on the outside and on the ground. When they do hit the ground, use that for leverage to secure a submission.
This middleweight bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds with our referee in charge, Dan Stell.
You ready? You ready? Let's go, fight.
3 5-minute rounds in the Strikeforce Middleweight division. Rockhold, red gloves, Bradley sporting the blue gloves, and Rockhold already looking to give Bradley a haircut with that high head kick.
Rockhold looks just to be the bigger guy in here.
Bradley, though, showcasing some of that power that Pat Miletich alluded to with an overhand right.
Yeah, and Bradley should have stayed in tight. He had him against the cage, should have stayed there and kept punching, and then maybe dropped in for a takedown.
Bradley built very similar to one of his training partners, Sean Shook, the former UFC lightweight champion out of the Minnesota Martial Arts Academy. Of course, Bradley in his corner, Greg Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson says that Bradley has very good boxing technique, and he has scored some knockouts.
Still also said he's got great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu neutralization skills.
And it's interesting with Luke Rockhold, even though, all 6 wins have come via submission there, going to work with his kickboxing out of AKA. He says he wants to stand and bang. He relishes that in this fight, and so far, so good.
Yeah, Rockhold's doing a good job understanding. Now he switches.
Stance.
Yeah, he switches to the...
Oh, and he catches Bradley. And Rockhold going in now. Bradley scrambling. Rockhold looking for mount, but Bradley looking like he will recover here, but Rockhold has him pinned to the mat. And Pat, I know it's a cliche, but the wrestlers with their backs on the mat.
Yeah, but Bradley did a great job. Look at him. He got back to at least half butterfly guard while he was hurt. And that punch that he got hit with did catch him, I think, behind the ear in the back of the head. Not intentionally, but it did.
It's a nasty play.
Beautiful
world.
escape there by Bradley. Nicely done.
It really was, but he's going right into a doors. Almost.
And backs up, so survives some early danger from Luke Rockhold as we hit the 2-minute mark of this opening round.
It was when Rockhold switched to orthodox that right hand was so powerful.
Bradley has his hands up. Oh, and again, though, gets caught with that counter right. And now going for the guillotine was Rockhold. High head kick catches Bradley. Bradley doubles over, looking for the shot. And it looks like he may have been. Oh, the fight is stopped.
Looked like it might have been a
I thought it was a low blow, but
at the end.
Rockhold, in any event, records another impressive win. This one via referee stoppage.
Bradley was trying to be aggressive and cover the gap, but notice he didn't move his head on the way in. That's something that I discussed with his camp, and that's something that he said he was going to work on. That's why you get caught by fighters when you come in without moving your head. Here he is coming in again. Head's not moving. He did get clipped in the back of the head, though, which will throw your equilibrium off. Rockhold did a good job throwing uppercuts, following up, and then securing the mount. Beautiful right hook over the top. Rockhold definitely has improved his striking. Looking to secure a guillotine. Nice head kick, and then follows up with the punches. Here comes the knee. The knee definitely hit clean in the body, knocked the wind out of Bradley, put Bradley down. So that was a good call by the referee.